This morning, he has a message just for us. In his speech entitled, The Maximum Value, please help me welcome the 2003 World Champion of Public Speaking, distinguished Toastmaster, Jim Key.
If my home club would introduce me like that, I would volunteer to speak every week. No. If you invite me to speak at your club or you hire me to speak at your company, I will probably bring a boombox. And I'm half tempted to go back behind that curtain and have to be introduced again because, quite frankly, with that introduction and your response, I would like a do-over. I can think of many times, I'm sure you can too, I can think of many times in my life when I have wanted a do-over. But most of them have been occasions in which I wish the outcome would have been different. I can think of one case in particular. About a year and a half ago, I decided it was time to clean the eaves of my home. And I had the perfect tool for the job. I had a candy apple red pressure washer called Old Red. It's not the most creative name, I understand, but it was the right tool for the job because when you plug in the electrical cord and then you attach the water hose to it, now I realize that water and electricity usually shouldn't be mixed, but with Old Red it was different because when you turned on that electric motor, the pressure would begin to build. You would hold that wand in your hand, and when you pulled that trigger, a jet stream of water would rocket out of that nozzle with such force that from 10 feet away, you could indelibly carve your name into your neighbor's wooden fence. I know that because I've seen me do it. So I'm standing there cleaning the eaves of my house, and apparently I stepped near an anthill. Did I mention I was barefoot at the time? Yeah. When the first bite hit, the message shot up to my brain and said, pain! And there I am standing holding Old Red, and the brain responded, act now! For those of you who haven't fully awakened yet, this story does not have a happy ending. You know that voice that's supposed to be in your head that warns you when you're about to do something stupid? I didn't hear a peep out of that guy. Folks, I am a college graduate, but apparently not everyone was in class the day we studied never use power tools on yourself. So there I stood, the ant bit me. There were sounds that came out of me that I am not proud of. Were they happy sounds? No. Were they manly sounds? Not so much. They were sounds that clearly said, I would like to have a do-over now. Well, when I am not using Old Red to make myself sound like a broken dog whistle, I enjoy getting the maximum value out of it. And I think I do that fairly well. That's the way I'm geared. I'm the kind of guy who likes to get value from the things that cost me. That's one of the reasons why I dare not go into an all-you-can-eat restaurant. Because my mindset when I go in to give them my money is, you are not going to profit from me. And I always overeat to the point where it's difficult to breathe. Has anyone else ever done this? Yeah, and I wonder if it's just me or if we all do this. Do you then unbutton the top button of your pants anymore? I do. Consistently, because I want to get the maximum value. That's the way that I'm geared towards everything. In my Toastmasters experience, I'm the same way. I want to get the maximum value from my involvement in this organization. That's why I'm really excited to be serving as an area governor this year and helping to start new clubs and continuing to give manuals from the speeches because there's more value for me to get. By the way, where's Les Goosey? Where's Les? Okay, somebody tell Les, just in case he can't hear this, that this speech right now is being evaluated for manual speech credit, just so he knows. But that's the way that I am. That's why I'm serving as a club officer in my home club. That's why I'm going to get the training today, because I believe in getting the maximum value. So what about you? What about your Toastmasters experience? Are you getting the maximum value that you can, or are you leaving value on the table? How many of you, if you needed change for a $20 bill, would be satisfied if I offered you 2 5s and 8 1s? Anyone? People are looking around. Where does the line form for the $20 side? No, we wouldn't, because we want to get the maximum value. But so many people come to the organization, they get some value, they get some growth, but there is so much more that they leave behind. Now, I realize that since you are here, you have taken a step. You've acknowledged that there is value to be had, and so you've taken that step to get that. But many of us, in fact, all of us, I would bet, have members of our clubs that are here. And as much as you might need to hear this message, they need to hear this message too. Plain, strong, and undiluted. So I'm recording this. I'm going to put it on my website in a little private area. If you want access to it to share with them or with others of your club, email me and I'll send you the link for it. You probably should know my email address is jim@jimkey.com. Really hard to understand or to remember. But anyway, I'll make that available to you. But I want everybody who hears this message, whether it's recorded or whether it's here now, live in person, to take a challenge. I want to challenge you today to help me give this year's district leadership problems. And if I didn't have their attention before, you can guarantee I have it now. I want you to help us give them problems. I want them to have problems knowing exactly where and how to use all of the freshly trained judges that we have. I want them to have problems knowing what to do with all of the volunteers that come forward who are excited about helping with club building and with contests and with district conferences. I want them to have that problem. I want them to have a problem at the end of this year trying to pick which club officers of the years should receive those awards, because they will be deluged with unsolicited nominations, because so many of the officers in this club during this year will just flat out rock. I want them to have those problems. There are a couple of other problems I want them to have too. I want them to have problems trying to explain to other districts exactly how we achieved the astounding statistical success this year in club building and membership growth and educational awards. I want them to have that problem. But more important than that, way more important than the statistical success, I want them to have a problem in choosing which of your stories to share. The accounts of deep personal growth and individual transformation, because they will be faced with so many. I want them to have that problem. So, who's with me?
Yeah. Woo!
Congratulations for responding to a trick question. Talk is cheap. It's easy for us to sit here right now. Yeah, it's easy to respond. Everybody else is responding. But really taking that challenge will require you to take responsibility for A, finding out what areas of value are in this organization that you haven't yet taken advantage of that you can, and B, acting to take advantage of those. That is going to mean you doing some investigation. That's going to mean you deciding to stretch and grow and learn. And hopefully it will mean that you decide to take the training that you received and put it to good use, both inside and outside this organization. See, 1 year from today, we will stand at a point in time when we look back at the year that has elapsed since now. And when we stand at that point of time, we'll be able to examine all the things that we did. And we will have to answer to ourselves whether or not we truly took that challenge and we truly acted on it. I believe when we come to this point next year, we can look back and say we were able to create those problems for our district leaders. And I believe that we will look back at this moment in time and be able to tell that this was the moment when each of us experienced a decidedly upward turn in our Toastmasters experience. And at that point in time, when we refuse to take any excuses from ourselves and do what we should do to get that, we will get the maximum value.